discussion. So just today I want to say that Pragyapana Sutra is a scripture which is dealing with all basic concepts of Jain philosophy and also practices of Jainism. So it is known as a scripture dealing with transcendental science. Nowadays, we are seeing so many scientific research, and because of that, our mind is being, what we say, confused in some matters, that what we should follow, what we should not. So we should learn that the science has some limitations, but the scriptures have been written by those scholars or sages or seers who had extrasensory perception. They were not dependent on the sense perceptions or sense observations or some observations of some equipments, but they were looking, they were realizing truth directly through their inner consciousness. So what they are saying, just we have to be more confident about their knowledge. Yes, we can aid something which is new and corresponding to our scriptural concepts or strengthening our ideas. So there are certain things which are not still in the range or approach of scientific studies because they are, we can say either they are very subtle or very distant or maybe hidden. It is not, what we say, open to all of us, or they may be non-physical. So those physical realities which are non-physical, they cannot come in the direct experience of our sense organs or any equipments. So Jain text, especially, they are talking about such kind of realities which are beyond the approach of science, present day science, okay? Might be in future, the science would be able to explore those realities, but right now we cannot say that these realities can come easily in the study of scientific methods or equipments or sense observations. Now I would say that how first we should see that what kind of scriptures or sacred texts are available in Jain tradition. You can see here that all the scriptures have been divided into two broader categories. One is called Angapravist and the other one is called Angabahya. So Angapravist means the main corpus and Angabahya is the corpus which is supplementary or complementary to main corpus. So Angapravista especially are the scriptures under this particular category. There are 12 main scriptures which are known as Achar, Sutrakrit, Sthan, Samvai, Vyakhya, Pragyapti, Gyata Dharma Katha, Upasak Dasha, Antakrit Dasha, Antaropasik Dasha, Prashna Vyakaran Vibhag, and other texts. So these are the main scriptures which have been spoken by Lord Mahavir himself and written down by his own chief disciples, 11 chief disciples. They were known as Ganadhar. So these are the main original, authentic, final texts of Jain tradition. Every other scriptures are dependent on these particular texts, which are the most authentic text or final text for deciding any matter. So here, these are the main texts, and other texts are which are written especially by those scholars who had the knowledge of Purvas. Purva is also one of the categories of Jain scriptures, which were having more detail and very, and you can say very vast knowledge. And everybody could not be able to grasp those particular texts, but those scholars who were able to grasp those voluminous texts, which were known as Purva, they have also written some textbook, and those textbooks mostly are considered under this second category, which is Angabahya. So they were scholars, they were not omniscient, okay? but they were scholars of the Purvas and having very vast knowledge, and they have got the insight into the realities. So whatever they have written, that have also been accepted as the scriptures in Jain tradition, and they come under the second category. They are accepted as a scripture as far as they are corresponding to the main scriptures which have been spoken by Mahavir. If they contradict in any matter of the main scriptures or authentic texts, they are not accepted in our tradition. So those people and those scholars who have written something original but not contradictory to the main scriptures, they have also been recognized as the Agam Purusha. It means the scholars who can whose words can also be accepted as the scripture. So here you can see that there are so many texts which have been written by such kind of scholars who were the experts of the Purvas, that one of the what we say higher category of the scriptures, and they have written these kind of texts. So you will see that in this text there are so many things which have been discussed in the form of some yogic mysterious powers, and also about the cosmic realities, about the life, how to live a life, and how to die even sometimes. So we know about that there is a religious way of dying in Jain tradition, that is Samlekhana or Maran Samadhi. So you can see here that there are certain texts which are dealing with that kind of matters. So these are different texts. This lecture would be available, and you could see even the same thing after the class even. But just this time I'm discussing so that you can come to know. Here you can see that there is one scripture which is known as Drishtivad, that is the 12th text or 12th main authentic text which has been spoken by Mahavir himself. And this particular text is very, very voluminous. It has 5 parts, and in each part you will see that different types of chapters have been given. They are also dealing with some non-physical realities. Some part is dealing with the history, that how Jainism has started, how the human civilization has started. So from day one, who were the people who have guided humanity to live a life, a proper life, or life which is required according to the need of the time. So these are the great people who are recognized as 63 Shalaka Purush. So the history has also been given in this particular scripture, and you will find this kind of history in different form of Puranas, in which the same history has been discussed. Nowadays, it is said that this particular scripture, which is known as Drishtivad, that is the 12th scripture spoken by Mahavir, and it was very, very voluminous. It is not available at present. Only 11 scriptures which have been spoken by Mahavir are available with us. So in this particular text, you will see that it is divided into 5 parts. Each part is having different chapters, having different topics of discussion. But it is not available fully here in present time. Now we would see that there are 2 main traditions of Jainism. One is the Digambar tradition, and other one is the Shwetambar tradition. Shwetambar tradition also believes in the same scriptures. The Digambar tradition also believes in the same scriptures, but there may be differences in number of the scriptures. There may be differences in the what we say regarding the availability of the scriptures. So according to Digambar tradition, at present, those original texts or scriptures are not available today. So they are taking the support of the text which have been written down by some great scholars or saints of their tradition, but they are saying that the scriptures are not available at present. So it may be when these scriptures are not available with them, or with their tradition, but still in Shwetambara tradition, it is said that scriptures are not lost completely. They are still available and we can read those scriptures. So among those scriptures, one we are taking for our study. So here you can see that the Digambar tradition is also accepting the same kind of literature, but number may be different. Some texts have been accepted in some traditions, some have not been accepted. So it is their own matter. We don't worry about that. Okay. And this is the Agam Vichit Kakram. So since these names are in Hindi, I have given here because so that everybody can read properly. If I translate or transliterate, then it would be difficult to read out. So here you can see that the scriptures have been which are the scriptures which have been discussed here in Jain tradition. They all are not available today and they are lost with time, but some part of those scriptures is still with us and we can read out in the form of some text. So there are three main traditions regarding the number of scriptures in Jain tradition. One view says that there are 84 scriptures in total, and one view is saying that there is 45 scriptures, and according to third view that there are 32 scriptures which are most authentic texts and can be easily accepted by all the traditions. So these 32 texts which you can see here, these 32 texts are commonly accepted by all the traditions, okay? And among these, you will find that there is one text which is known as Pragyapana. Okay, so all the scriptures today have been divided into 4 categories. One is called Ang, that is the original, most authentic original text which have been spoken by Lord Mahavir himself. Second is Upang, which have been spoken or written down by the scholars of the Purvas. And the third one is called Mool. So Dashvikali, Uttaradhyam, Nandi, and Anuyugdvat, these have also been written by some scholar saints of Jain tradition. They are coming in the category of Mool. It means every monks and nuns, at least they should learn all these 4 texts. Okay, and Chet Sutra. Chet Sutra is a kind of text which talks about the exceptional situations. Suppose we are following some rule and that rule is not fit in all critical situations, then these texts are guiding us that in that critical situation, what we have to do. And if we are breaking any rule or crossing limit of our rules, what can be the atonement for those things, then Chet Sutra guides us that what can be the atonement for breaking any rule or using any exception. So these Chet Sutras, they are also 4 in categories. And what we say, the last one is Avashyak, that is the 32 second text, which is also accepted in all, at least in all our Shwetambara traditions. And strictly it is being followed by all the monks, nuns, and householders. So they are 6 Avashyak. In this particular text, it is said that there are 6 essential religious things which everybody has to follow. Those who believe in Jain tradition or Jain values or Jain religion. So these 6 essential activities, or you can say things which we have to perform or follow in everyday life. See, now we would see that these scriptures have been studied by the monks and nuns in ancient time with all details. And they were using the method of interdisciplinary approach. So they were not just reading any scripture from ethical point of view or from religious point of view, but they were also reading the same text from mathematical point of view, from metaphysical point of view, or from historical point of view. So they were reading the text with all different explanations, interpretations, approaches. But as time passed, the monks learned monks of ancient time, they have seen that somebody cannot follow the scriptures with all such details. So we should classify all the scriptures based on their subject matter. So it is Arya Rakshit who comes in the first century of this common era. He divided all the scriptures, 32 scriptures or 45 or 84, whatever number is. He divided all the scriptures into 4 categories depending on their subject matter. So he has done this kind of a new, he has brought this new idea in explanation of the scriptures or reading method of scriptures. And that method is recognized as Prithaktvanu. It means you should read one scripture from one point of view, so that you should not have so much information together which you cannot remember, or it may be difficult for some people. So this classification is also done by Arya Rakshit, which was new. Nowadays we are learning some scriptures from one point of view and not from all points of view, but we can read that scripture from different points of view also, so that we can get more and wider understanding of the things. Now at present, you can see that there are so many scriptures available still, though I say that almost 70 or 75% of our scriptural knowledge is lost due to the time which is past in ancient time due to some other circumstances. But still, we have so much to learn, so much, and so much, and you can get very very vast knowledge about the things, and in a very wider perspective, or in a very convincing manner that has still there in this text. So we are taking here now you will see that there are different ways of classifying the scriptures. So some scriptures have been said as Utkalik, some are said as Kalik, and other one is said Ang. So Kalik, Utkalik, it means you have to read these scriptures in particular time and not after that. That is called Kalik. Utkalik means there are certain times which you have to avoid, but not all the times. So that's why these scriptures can be read anytime. Just we have to take care of those time which are not good for reading good things or doing some mantras. And these are the scriptures which we have already seen. Agam, that is the main original sources. So here you can see all the 84 number. These are the total number of the scriptures. Might be some are lost, some are available, but still you can see that these were the texts which were in ancient time and that were dealing with old principles and practices in detail. So, but yes, if we could not get all the 84, if we read only the Pragyapana Sutra, then also we can get much more about our Jain tradition, Jain philosophy, its basic principles and practices. Okay, so I have just given the overview of the Jain scriptures, and Pragyapana Sutra comes under the Upang literature, Ang and Upang. So it comes under the Upang literature, and it is said that all the Upangas are the corresponding to some or other original canons. So Samvayag is known as the corresponding text to the fourth scripture, which is known as Samavayang Sutra. So here you can see that how this scripture is dealing with different theories of Jain tradition or Jainism or Jain philosophy, and how it is providing very profound knowledge about those concepts and those practices. So if somebody has any question regarding the overview of the scriptures, they can ask after we can finish our discussion. We will discuss these chapters from next classes. Just I am showing that how Pragyapna Sutra is dealing with cosmic realities in its first chapter. But today, this is enough for all of you, that what is the what we say concept about the scriptures in Jain tradition, what is the number, total number which has been accepted by all traditions. Some of them are available, some are not, but yet we have enough to read.
Hello. How
Yes.
these 11 agams are different with each other?
Yeah, you can see that they are having very different materials. Suppose you can see here Chandra Pragyapti, there is Surya Pragyapti. It is talking about the sun, motion of the sun and the moon. So how sun is moving, how moon is moving, and what is the time when it is decreasing or increasing. So all these different astrological studies about the sun and moon and these planets you can find in these two scriptures. Dweep Sagar Pragyapti you can see, or Jambudvip Pragyapti, they are dealing with the Jambu Island, how it is made, and what are the mountains which are found in Jambu Island, what are the what we say cities you can say, or countries. They are available in this Jambu Island. So in this way, you can see here, they are having different material for their discussion. So just we have to see how much we can know about them.
Okay.
This is the Prashna Vyakaran you can see here. It is said that there was so many such kind of knowledge was there here in this particular text, through which you could come to know that what kind of mystical powers you can develop in yourself, or some astrological methods were given in this particular text. But nowadays the original text is not available, and that's why we couldn't come to know that what can be the method of knowing something about which we are curious, and with the help of this astrological methods, how we could come to know those things. But it is not available right today. So in this way, some are dealing with some other matters, some are dealing with the ethical issues or ethical principles, some are dealing with philosophical issues and philosophical content, and some are discussing some other things.
As a normal person, which scripture is the good for as a normal human being?
Okay, for normal human being, first see, what we have to do is to follow religion. Okay, so Avashyak Sutra deals with all the essential activities which you have to follow in your day-to-day life. So this is very simple and very ethical text which guides us, and that what things we have to follow, at least minimum, in our day-to-day life. And second is that if we want to know something about metaphysical truths, this Pragyapna Sutra can help us, but it may be some difficult for all that. Then you can start with Uttaradhyan Sutra. That is also very simple, but it deals with philosophical, ethical, and some practical things. So, there are some stories through that also some things is made clear. So you can see that Uttaradhyan Sutra, which is simple for reading, or Gyata Dharma Katha. In this particular scripture, Some stories are given to make clear the philosophical concepts, whether it is related to the karma theory, whether it is related to metaphysical realities. So that is also very good if somebody wants to learn things through story telling tradition. Then the Gatha Dharmakatha is simple text which can help us to understand things. Okay, but Pragyapna Sutra is more philosophical. Okay, more philosophical. So it will deal about the cosmic phenomena, cosmic realities, and also all the things related to our own life, death, life, breathing, all these things. So you can see that it is very comprehensive text, very all-encompassing, taking all the aspects which are related and concerned with our own life, even in present time. Clear? Anything?
Okay.
I have one more question. So out of these 84 scriptures, how many are available? What did you say?
See, 45 around are available. 45. Okay. So
And
32 texts are available with all traditions, especially in Shvetamba traditions. Okay. So Murti Puja, Sthanakvasi, and what we say, Therapantha tradition. In all these three traditions, you will find that 32 texts, they are reading, discussing on them. And 45 texts are accepted, especially in Murti Puja tradition. So you will find all the 45 scriptures. In Pune, there is one temple which is known as Agam Bhavan. You will find that they have written down all those 45 scriptures on some metal plates, and those plates have been what we say put on the walls of that particular temple. So in this way, 45 texts are still available, or maybe more than that, but just I can say that this much are available.
Remaining is not available in India anywhere.
Just we have to explore that if somewhere it is available. There are so many what we say libraries in India. Suppose Bhagwan Mahavir in Mahavir Aradhana, which is the biggest library of Jain for the Jain scriptures in located in what we say in Ahmedabad. There is one library which is in Pune, that is Shruta Bhavan Pune, and I think the name of the monk is Vairagya Muni, and he is trying to get the copy of digital copy at least of all the scriptures available in India or anywhere or in any corner of the world. He's trying his best to collect all the digital copies of all the scriptures, and might be they have also very big collection of all these scriptures, and they are preparing their catalog also. Mahavir Aradhana library, which is in Ahmedabad, they have already published 7 volumes, catalog in 7 volumes. Can you see? Okay, and they are providing all the detailed informations about the text which are available with them, and they are freely providing the copy if somebody is contacting them.
I have one more question regarding the Shvetambas and Digambas. You said that the Digambas do not accept a lot of the texts. So what exactly is it that the Digambas accept? Like what canon?
Okay, so I have said that Sridhar Senacharya, who might be around the time I have to see his time, but Sridhar Senacharya, he had the knowledge about the one part or some part of the 12th scripture, which is Drishtivad. So he noted down those things in the form of the text of Shatkhandagam and Kashaya Pahur, with the support of his own 2 disciples, Pushpadanta and Bhutabali. So those texts are most authentic texts for Jain, for the Digambara tradition. they are saying that these texts are based on the 12th scripture, which is known as Drishtiva, having very vast knowledge about Jain philosophical things and also spiritual religious practices. So they accept those two texts as their canon like. Okay, they are not originally canon, but they are based on the canon.
So they just accept that 112 scripture, nothing else.
Yeah, they are accepting those texts as their authentic source, and they are trying to follow those texts only, not the scriptures which are available with the Shvetamba tradition. But nowadays, scholars are realizing that they have ignored these great treasure of knowledge which is available with Shvetamba tradition, and they should also look into it. So some of the scholars have started looking into them. In ancient time, it was very difficult to meet with any other tradition because there were so much distances and some hardships to come and meet and discuss. So it may be that the Digamba tradition couldn't come to know that the scriptures are still available with Shvetamba tradition, and we should start following them. They have created their own. So, okay, that is also good. They are discussing the same thing, okay? Okay, so now time is up. I think everybody has got, if somebody has any difficulty in getting anything, they can ask me anytime through email or in next class. And the same videos would be available after the class on the week 1 module. You can get access throughout the week and can take the quiz. And also if something is not clear, you can listen to those videos again and again so that it will be clear to you. So thank you for coming and joining the course. Please be on time, and we will just set 1 hour time for our discussion. Today it was orientation class and first class. That's why I've taken more time. Thank you. Now I am leaving.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Samaniji. बहुत धन्यवाद.
So
Krutagyasmi.
yes. I think things were clear, Singaraj.
Yes, Samaniji. Yeah,
Okay,
I was carefully listening to your lecture.
thank you.
Krutagyosmi.
Yes,
Navino Sami.
thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yes, it was very clear and very perfect.
Thank you. Okay.
Krutagyasmi, Swami.